I can hear in the background.
Hi, I'm Lady D Denise Gomez, and I have exciting interview segments and features inside the zone. For recording artists, you can sing? Well, Inside the Zone, second Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. is for you. Writers, share your story, no man, in From the Author Zone on third Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. Male Zone has unbelievably juicy stories of love, heartbreak, and triumph. 7 p.m. has never been this good. On Mondays, it's news, talk, engaging features at 7 in the Monday Drive. And Center Stage has everyone talking on Thursdays. Be a part of the show. Email me insidethezone@gmail.com or call me 914-304-2592.
I got a mortgage customized to fit me.
Same day pre-approval on my loan. Wow!
Lower mortgage payments, so I have money to do more of the things that matter.
Happiness is owning my own crib.
Take advantage of our same-day mortgage pre-approval plus customized financing of up to 100% and enjoy low monthly payments. Happiness is home. Own it with BMBS.
This week's topic, names then and This week's topic, names then and now. There are people from the Caribbean who literally dislike their names. Clementine and Abnor were typical examples. Cardashiano and Abcdef, spelled Abcdef, fall in their own category. Not only that, but some of them are also hard to spell. Names then and now, as Satideh Mawnin Runnings. Come make we talk.
Oh, my darling, oh, my darling, oh, my darling Clementine.
Clementine! I
Max,
want to talk about the orange.
no, Max, I saw you smiling behind the camera because I can still see all of you when I'm running the ads. I, I could still see you smiling, Max. You're muted. Unmute.
Sorry, I was smiling at the name Abner. Where you get that?
Hello. You don't know Mass Abner. You don't know Mass Abner. You stay there.
Abner, no, sir.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Satideh Mawnin Runnings. It's aired live on Saturdays from 10 to 11:30 a.m. I'm your host, Lady D. Denise Gomez. Of course, my girls in crime, partner in laughter, just about everything. Sharnette Sherns, the conscious one, Brown. Then there is Jackie Brainbox Tyson and Max Boyd Lyons. Jen, our cultural girl, she's not with us, but again, as I promised, she'll be back soon. Welcome to everybody. Names then and now. So start jotting down as you enter the space. Start jotting down the names that you know that people were given when you were growing up. So we know the Marcy and the Janet, right? We know Timothy, we know Frederick, and all those names, right? But in recent times, people have become more creative. And in an effort to be creative, their creativity has caused somewhat of confusion because some of us can't spell, we can't pronounce. Enunciation is a problem. And the children themselves, while they are, going through the flow of the name, they too are trying to figure out what the name means. There are a lot of people who were given names, whether it's from Greek mythology or from the Bible. And some of us have fallen into the other category.
Or from some liquor store. I mean,
yes. Right. So, right. So the Abcdef, as I mentioned, that was given to me by one of the girls' partner in crime. And I had to say, all right, so let me just drop in the A, B, C, D, E, F. That's where that comes from. Right? Abcidef. And we just want to talk about names because there are a lot of people who they hated their names growing up. Some have even gone through deed poll.
Yes.
To change their names.
Yeah.
I love my name. My name is Denise. I thought I should have been named Victoria, but it's not that I hate the name Denise. I just thought I should have been named Victoria because, when I was growing up, they say how much I looked like my dad. And his name is Victor. Okay. So there is that. But there are other people who genuinely say if they don't know what their mother or their father or the parents together who have over these years, we've been realizing that parents are joining their first names together. Right? And naming their children. Now, some of them, their first names never all that. So it even more complicates things even more. But that aside, we are all given a name. Some of us, and I think we had this show already, where, the name was written on a sheet of paper. It was given to an aunt or a relative or somebody, good friend, to take to the
post office,
the registrar in the community at the time,
post office.
And in translation, we don't know what happened.
Right.
Right. And so they end up
spelling wrong.
The post office couldn't spell. It's simple. They couldn't spell.
All
so
that.
They thought that what you wrote. They thought that what
how about
wrote.
the writer couldn't write? How about the writer couldn't write good? So the post office is right Wednesday.
That too. So we just want to talk about names this morning, though comical in a lot of respects, but it's a person's name. And your name means a lot to you. It indicates that identity that you come from a family, they named you, right? And your name, if called in a particular way, like my name is spelled Denise. But as I'm growing up, people add a Z in there. So it wasn't a Denise pronunciation that you got. People said Denise. But
Mm-hmm.
you grow up with that. You don't make it a biggie. Over
Right.
time, now, people have become more conscious. They're moving into professional spaces, and you have to call their names right. And so, even if you grew up
Yes.
with them, and suddenly they're in a new space now and more recognition and so on, and you pop in a Denise there, they're going to say, "No, it's Denise." And then you might look at
Yes.
them and say, "Then the
Yeah,
whole
so that's
time he used
because
to
you call
call
it.
you, the whole time he
That's
used to
because you
call
call
you."
it nice.
Yeah, but it's spelled Denise.
But
Yes.
but
So,
but
Mm-hmm.
but a cousin of mine, her name is Dahlia. In Jamaica, you say Dahlia,
Uh-huh.
mhm,
right?
Mm-hmm.
Coming here at her job and other places, people start calling her Dahlia.
right.
So
Yes.
Yes,
her
I've heard that
mom,
before.
yeah, when her mom was alive, her mom called the job and said, "May I speak to Dahlia?" And they
Mhm,
said, "Nobody here by that name."
mhm.
Lord
And
God,
she
topic.
insisted, and she said, "Yes, they went back and forth. And then they said, Dahlia." And she had words with them. She said, "I named her, and her name is Dahlia. Where you come up with Dahlia?" But then
Dahlia,
my cousin
Yes.
prefers, yeah, but my cousin prefers to be called Dahlia instead of Dahlia.
Oh, oh, there you go.
Although Dahlia, as we know, Dahlia is a flower, it's a pretty
Mhm,
flower.
Right.
But she
mhm.
right,
prefers
yes,
to be called Dahlia,
absolutely.
just like how they did it. And she kept that pronunciation. That
Yes.
was her choice. Yeah, but
Mhm,
her mother
mhm,
was not amused at the time.
mhm.
Yeah.
And
And I understand that because I too have a problem with my last name, the Lions thing, because people spell it Lions, which is the animal. My name is
mhm,
spelled Lyons. Even last week, 2 weeks ago, I'm in a music group on WhatsApp, and the person who introduced me to the group and was welcoming me, and the person wrote Lyeon for my last
oh,
name. So, and I had to correct it. I said, no, I corrected it right there on spot in the group. I said
mhm.
Maxine Land and I spelled it. I have a cousin
Yes.
in Canada that she calls me Leon, but the
Mhm.
pronunciation is really
All right.
Lions.
Yeah,
Lyons. So,
just a minute. There's some kind of a sound in the background. I'm not sure who on whose end. All right. So, thank you, Max, for sharing that. So
you're welcome.
we all get a little personal about our names at some point in time. Um and rightfully so. It's your name.
Yes.
And if somebody call out your name, we use the term brawling, right? So,
Uh-huh.
and if people tend to be brawling and call your name, like now they say Denise,
No,
right?
Exactly.
no, but you know what? I was in Grand Central Station. No, you picked the Grand Central.
Mm-hmm.
Right in that big area where the Metro North is, and the ceilings are very high.
Mm-hmm.
There is a there is a girl I went to high school with. I have not seen her since high school days. And she saw me, and all I could hear across that huge expanse was Shernette McDuck. And I mean, nobody in the world no name so except me. So
Right.
I had to stop and
No.
search
Where's
out because it was brawling. It
yes.
sounded like from school days. I had to stop and search out the bodies until I saw her waving frantically way over the other side. So when you're
Mm-hmm.
talking about Call Out Your Name brawling, that
Mm-hmm.
was like a rude
Mhm.
awakening for me in
And
big Grand Central.
sometimes it's out of sheer excitement, right?
Yes.
Yes, sheer excitement. We'd like to welcome our guest this morning. And don't forget, we're plugging. Once you enter the room, can you share it with at least 5 persons and invite them to join us here on Saturday Morning Runnings? It's fun. It's a lot of fun and informative. Starting off with Andrea, or girl out of Barbados. Morning, Drea, she says rather. It is hi, it's a new day. Rejoice. And we are rejoicing. Or girl Vero is in the house. Good morning, Lady D and friends. Then
Good
Dion says,
morning.
Clementine. Oh, yeah.
Clementine.
Clementine indeed. Morning, happy. Maureen Goldborn. She says, good morning, everyone.
Good
And the
morning.
yes. What Lime the name Army.
Morning.
Okay, I wish Andrea could help me out there. Break it down for
Army.
me. Charles, he says, good morning. Andre Porter. Happy Caribbean Heritage Month. Thank you, Andre, to you too. And what else is going on here?
I
Because
saw a friend of mine popped in briefly. Her name is Avery, and her name is pretty unusual to me. She's the first and only person I know with that name. She popped out. I hope she subscribes because I sent her a note telling her to subscribe so everybody can see her post.
Okay.
But she popped in.
Okay. Andre says, great discussion. And he also says, much appreciated. Did you get to see the new No Winner Reach this so yet, Master? Okay. Movie. You have a movie.
Oh.
Yes.
Andre. Okay.
Andre Porter.
Yeah.
Ralph. Hey, Ralphie. Good morning, my extended family. Bless up. Sure.
Good morning, brother Ralph.
Title.
Love.
Yeah. And Charles, he says, as simple as my name is, some people still can't call my name right. Viola Charles. No mind
Simple
Charles.
and pretty.
They soon get it right. Noveline in the house. Good morning, Lady D and friends. Blessings to all in Jesus' name. Amen. You kindly add him in there. You're here. Noveline.
Yes, very important.
So names are important. Now,
yes.
Jokingly, you heard me add Clementine and Abnor, but yes, we could go down memory lane. So you have Ethel and you have Ethel.
Ethel.
Right?
How about Marcia and Marsha?
Do you know though, Ethel here is fancy.
Yes.
Because it's Ethel.
Yeah,
It's not Ethel.
Yes.
It's Ethel.
Ethel.
And you know, most of us Caribbean people have a challenge in pronunciation, whether it's our H's or it's our O's, the H, the O, the I, you know, the consonants not so bad, but the vowel. Herville, you just reached.
I was most bewildered when I didn't see you.
We haven't seen our
you to say that.
Lordy, we haven't seen our girl in a while. We haven't seen our bewildered girl Aldith in a while. Morning to my dear heart, Yvette. Morning, Yvette, my girl. We went to school together.
Too early to start crying.
Awesome, Yvette. Good to see you. You're just a come Ermin. Okay. Please share with somebody. Let's talk about names this morning. Your name, or people's name that you know that you have to say what them parents was thinking of.
So may I tell you that all the names that I'll mention here today are people that I have known or know, or my sister knows, my family knows. They are real. Now, when you have a twin and you kind of wonder, you're looking for unusual names, or people looking for unusual names, especially you have a girl and a boy, and you're looking for unusual names, what do you come up with? How about Lemongelo and Orangelo?
Okay.
Lemon and orange. You're kidding me?
Lemon Jello.
And
it's
orange.
actually spelled Lemonjello. Lemon Jello. And Orange Jello. Orangejello. As one word. Lemon Jello and Orangelo.
Well, jumping on that, Jackie. Piggybacking on Jackie just now. I have two such ones. One of them, the father is a minister. So one of the boy was named First Corinthians, and the other one was Second Corinthians. Okay. And then another set of twins that went to two more sets of twins. one of them went to school with one of my nephew. His name, I forgot their nationality, but one of them was Ruse Bay and one was Bay Ruse. And then when my son was small and he used to go to an after school, what's that?
She's laughing.
My son used to go to an after school program, and I went to pick him up one day, and it was with a bunch of boys and they were playing, and one of the aides that worked there, she kept calling to one of the boys, and she was saying, "Your Majesty, Your Majesty, Your Majesty, sit down, Your Majesty." And then somebody said, "Wait, what kind of title that?" But then what took me out completely was when she said, "Your Majesty, go over there. Your Highness, you sit down." That is when I realized, and my son is 26, so these boys are now, well, they're young men now. They live in our neighborhood, and one of them is Your Majesty, and the other one is Your Highness, and they spell it Y-E-R, Majesty, and Y-E-R, Your Highness. That's their names.
Lord Jesus.
No, I'm stressed.
Yeah.
How did they manage to get you? How did they manage to get you school?
I mean,
kids back then were terrible at teasing.
No, but that's. I don't think they're gonna tease them with Your Majesty and Your Highness. But it's just it's the First Corinthians and Second Corinthians. It's them too.
Crazy.
Wouldn't you say that's just so? No, again, we try to be respectful.
Charm, some people.
Everybody.
My sister, she coming in for the first time. Welcome, Charm. Charm lives in North Carolina.
Hey,
welcome,
Charmy.
my sister, Charm.
Mm-hmm. No, we are respectful, so we will try our best to restrain ourselves.
Yes.
Nevertheless, wouldn't that be a little extreme, though? The
think
First
so.
and
Yeah.
Second Corinthians.
Yes, that's more than
Because
extreme.
remember, I alluded to the fact that you have people who name their children from the Bible with people's names
Yes.
from the Bible.
Absolutely.
Yes.
But
Adam and Eve.
Isaiah, James, John, Mark,
Mhm.
Luke.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah, I went
Yes.
went to school with a set of identical twin boys, and they were Peter and Paul.
Mhm.
Okay.
Right.
Is there
Yeah.
a reason why
And-
those
and- and I
accepted?
Yes,
Go
I
ahead,
had some
Max.
neighbors who were living next door to me. They moved away now, but the littlest, they have 3 kids. I don't know the girl's name, but the second one is a boy, and the third one is a boy too. One of them was Isaiah and one is Jeremiah. Bible
Mhm.
names. And to me, those are beautiful names.
Those are
But when you
beautiful
get about
names.
when you decide to give your kids name like Lakeisha, Tiquanda, Kamisha, and all kind of stuff, then people can't pronounce, can't spell. You walk, sometimes you're in, for example, Walmart or any stores where they have to wear a name tag, and you'll be there staring while they're cashing
They're
your stuff.
cashing.
You're staring.
Mhm.
Yes, while they're cashing, you're trying to look at the name, you're trying to address this person, you can't pronounce it because you don't know what it's saying. And
Yes.
you're afraid to even say it because you might mispronounce and they'll get upset.
Yes.
It's so,
So
so,
you
so
know,
like you
So you just
so like you
ask.
cuss bad word.
So in that case, what you can do is say, could you pronounce your name for me? Because I'd like
Yes,
to.
I've done
Yes.
that.
Yes,
I've
could you
done
pronounce
that.
your name for
Yeah,
me?
I
I'd
do
like
that
to.
too.
Yes.
So, Sister Charlotte, like you were
Yes.
just saying, it's like a cuss bad word. So, how about Alauda?
Yes.
Alauda, and her last name is Chit, C-H-I-T.
Very
My mother
unfortunate.
my mother knows her.
Very
Alauda,
unfortunate.
Chit.
So where is
Oh,
she from,
Lord.
Jackie? Where is she from?
Jamaica.
Oh.
Jamaica, my mother know her.
Yeah.
My.
Well, when I was
and let's-
go ahead, Max.
sorry, I was just about to say, don't forget about the let's not forget about the what we call them now, names that we just call people in the district, where we
Mhm.
call them nickname.
Yes.
They were growing up in my time. There were people in my district who had nickname, and I didn't know their correct name. We only know them with that name. That's
True.
another thing. So if
True,
you want to
Max.
describe this person or
Yeah.
tell somebody about this person, or ask a question about this person, you couldn't come up with the person's right name. And sometimes people in the district don't even know that nickname. They know the correct name, but you, under that individual, only knows that nickname. Like in my district, there was a young lady, her name was Musi, and I never knew her correct name. She was my neighbor, but they call her Musi. Why I don't know? But I never knew her right name. Then there's Rappy Green. Rappy Green is one of Norman's friends. I don't know his right name. Me and name was Rappy Green.
Rappy.
You understand what I'm saying?
There was a teacher who taught, she didn't teach me. I didn't go in her class, but she taught other school friends of mine. They used to call her Brock Up Stella, and I don't know the lady's name.
Brock Up what?
Brock Up Stella.
No, you see that?
I don't know the lady's name, although.
And in the event somebody comes into the community, you know, and asks for them by their given name,
right?
You might just say, no, nobody know around your name, so
exactly.
That's what I'm talking about.
Because you don't know.
You never know the right name.
You never know.
That's it.
That is so true. So Herman says, this is a good one. So we all know Dottie, right? People who get Dottie. But she's saying that it's Dottie.
Dot.
Dottie.
It's Dottie.
Yeah, because you can pretty go. Because it's like even with my name, right? With my name, Shernette. In Jamaica, it's like Shernette. Up here is Shanette. What's the name? Is Shanette. And if no matter how many times me say Shernette, they always come and say Shanette. So it just stick to the point where me never know what my name.
Because we take on an accent whether or not we believe it. Wherever you're domiciled, right? You'll take on a way of speaking, and that's normal. But make anybody trouble you and see what happens.
Thank you.
All right, that's it.
Lady, please ask Dion to pronounce that name. What's she right?
Who?
Dion Williams. Dion Williams.
Okay.
That look like Mokobina.
Mokobina.
Oh, here's her name.
Mokobina.
Or Mucho Bina.
Mucho Bina.
Wow, what you say? Mucho Bina.
Oh wow.
See.
Oh my goodness. So and a lot of people like to name their children after actresses and actors and so on. Actors and actresses, some of them even change their right name, you know, to give themselves a stage name, especially back in the day.
Right.
I don't even think Tina Turner was her name. Like
no,
Tina Turner
that's not her right name.
Right.
No,
so, you know,
it's Anime Bullock.
So it's Anime
Bullock, yes.
Yeah.
Right.
But listen,
and I never knew that until she passed away. I thought her name was Tina Turner.
Yeah, but look at Whoopi Goldberg. Her name is Karen
That's
Smith.
not her right name either.
Very simple name. You see that?
Simple. And she decided to change it. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, when Barack Obama won election, for that year, a lot of people started naming their children either Barack or Obama.
Yes.
So we were saying by the time those children get to age for school, it's gonna be a lot of name calling in the class. Is Barack here? Obama? They all took on the name. Yeah, it's gonna do that because those kids now are probably, you know, in probably at least first grade, kindergarten. Yeah, at least first grade now.
Right.
There was a famous actress way back in the day. Her name was Lola Brigida. You remember that, Shanette? Lola Brigida?
No.
My neighbor named her daughter Lola Brigida.
Might as well. All right, it's 10:30. Let's take a quick time signal. We'll be right back.
I got a mortgage customized to fit me.
Same day pre-approval on my loan. Wow.
Lower mortgage payments, so I have money to do more of the things that matter.
Happiness is owning my own crib.
Take advantage of our same-day mortgage pre-approval plus customized financing of up to 100% and enjoy low monthly payments. Happiness is home. Own it with BMBS.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Satideh Mawnin Runnings, and we're here Saturday mornings, or Saturday or Saturday mornings.
Saturday.
Saturday.
But can I say something right here? When I had my daughter, right? Because Ralph name is Ralph Brown, and because I knew the actress Sherry Lee Ralph, I was tempted to name her Sherry Lee Ralph Brown, you know.
Oh,
Really?
I almost did.
okay.
Oh my.
Nice.
I almost
Yeah.
did, yeah.
It
Speaking
would have
of
been appropriate just the same way.
speaking of Lola Brigida, I just searched her name. Her name was Luigia Gina Lola Brigida. And she was an Italian actress and model, photojournalist, an artist, and a politician. And ironically, she just died January 16, 2023.
Oh,
She was
really?
born
Wow.
1927 and she died January this year.
That's from our fact segment, ladies and
Yes.
gentlemen. You see what we're
Okay.
talking about? There you go. So when we talk about nicknames, you have names like Peas Head.
Lord Jesus. Yes. Dopey Tekwe.
Peas Head.
Don't be
Let me see.
Round
You have
ears, round
people who
ears.
name Froggy.
Rounded.
Froggy. Yeah, people who name Coolie because they're of Indian descent, heritage.
Yes,
They called my grandmother
I know
that.
that.
My grandmother in the district, she was called Miss Cooley.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Titos.
I have an uncle they used to call him Count. And when I go to Jamaica, I'm gonna find out from him why they call him so, because from a kid they call him, all his friends call him Count, and I have no idea why.
Right.
So I need
Must
to
be an
find that out.
interesting
But
story
the
behind
name
that
was
one.
Count.
What?
But here is this one, Titos. What that sound like to you?
Cletus?
Yeah, no teeth. There are no teeth.
Titos.
Oh,
Something to
Titus.
do with him
Them
teeth.
never want to call him Titus, man. Them just say
No.
Titus.
Because the
Something
person
to do
has
with the
buff
person.
teeth. Their teeth.
Teeth.
Titos.
Oh,
Yeah.
Titos, yeah.
So you imagine your whole life just because of how the formation of the teeth in your mouth.
oh yeah. Yeah, but
Titos.
your looks often dictate what nickname you got, you know.
True.
Yes,
Yeah.
Red Man.
Your looks dictate that.
Red
Yeah.
man.
And
Yellow man.
I grew up with a lady who were close friends to our family, Wani. I grew up hearing somebody named Wani.
Yeah, we had a one hand.
We had Mas Coolie Man.
Well, that's what I called my dad.
Mas Coolie Man.
Coolie boy.
Yes, Mas Coolie Man.
Mhm.
We had Coco. Well, a Coco bicycle.
We had a Coco
yes, I
too.
remember the Coco
We also
bicycle,
had
Lady
we
D.
also had Coco.
We had Coco.
We had a cousin them called him
have
Coco.
We still have
Mhm.
Coco. And again, I was saying
Yeah.
that we need to compensate him for the bicycle.
Yes,
Go fund me.
That we must up.
Go for him.
Yes.
I'm telling you.
But my mother husband name they used to call him White Man because he's Indian, but he's really high color. Could pass for white, real high color, coolie. But everybody used to call him White Man because of his complexion when he was alive. Yeah.
Okay.
But you know what they used to call me? You know what my nickname was, and I used to cry so much as a kid growing up. I cried. I used to hide past certain people's house just because I know if they see me, the nickname is coming out. They used to call me Miss Eunice Mama. Because I look so much like my mother. Because I look like my mother, they call me Miss Eunice Mama. Me say I'm stressed. Me so hide past some
Lady is dead. Lady is dying.
Wow.
Max, hush.
Max, I feel so bad because they used to call me Kisco.
It used to be hollering and bawling. A cock me used to run past the yard and me I go street, you know. Because me don't want them to see me. They want to see me.
Oh wow.
And then the more I cried, the more they would call me the name. The more I cried, the more they call me the name.
Oh,
because you don't like it.
Oh God.
They know you don't like it.
Now,
yes.
Hear her mean she now. ABCD is pronounced Abby Sedi.
But we're telling last night about the pity when you have Abcdef. Abcdef.
Oh Lord.
Abcdef. Abcdef.
Abcidef. This is a girl's name.
Abcdef.
Abcdef.
No, sir.
All right.
Oh boy.
Now, here we have Charm.
Lord.
There was a lady on the news named her son hashtag, like the sign. Hashtag.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yes. I run out
so
of name.
that one.
My sister said I remember that we used to call her Carmelita Fried Fish. That's what that's what we used to call my sister. I don't know why. We used to call her that.
Here is a good friend of mine, Shirley. So good to see you, Shirley. She says, I met three sisters named January, August, and October.
What?
Mm-hmm.
I hope they weren't born in those months.
Oh, and you know what? Too? I had worked.
Yes,
I had worked with where I had worked once. There were three sisters, and they were all named after bodies of water.
Oh,
you had river, you had spring, and you had ocean.
That's true.
Really?
Yeah.
Those are pretty.
Yeah.
Those are pretty.
Hey, my empress. Hey, Orge. Peace and wellness, my lovely ladies.
But how about the names that can't hold on the birth certificate? They're so long, they can't hold on the birth
36 letters of the alphabet.
So my sister, we have a neighbor, and her daughter's name, Cadian, Lavasia, Opasia, Opal, Nortova.
It's up here.
Repeat.
What do you mean not up here? That's what the lady name.
Say that again.
That is crazy.
Cadian, Lavasia, Opasia, Opal, Northova.
Okay.
Say
I have a
it
cousin
again.
in Canada.
Say it again.
Yes, yeah, sure. We say Cadian, Lavasia, Opasia, Opal, Northova.
And if you were to break that down in acronym, what would that come out to be?
Oh, Jesus. Lady, they put gonna give me a tongue twister here now. What if you do that? No,
Oh Lord.
Amen.
I have a cousin in Canada.
Amen.
Years ago when I probably was about 12, 13 or thereabouts. But I was a kid. My cousin came from Canada and she came with a young baby. And she had to go to Clarendon because we were in St. Mary then, and she decided to leave the baby. Young baby, just weeks old. The baby name was Leo Fashola Sheriff Dean. There was another party, but the part I can remember is Leo Fashola Sheriff Dean. Never forget that was a young, but Sheriff Dean. Leo Fashola Sheriff Dean. There was something else to it, but that is the part I remember.
Oh,
I'm like, what is the picture of the name?
Yeah, it's like my mother had a helper. Back in the day, my mother had a helper. And she had a daughter, and she named her Ophelia Sharifa Mesifia, and her last name was Poppin. up to the, and now she's even older than my daughter.
I'm trying to contain myself.
And every time we say, "What's up, Ophelia?" we just keep out the Meshilia and just call her Ophelia. Because all of the names were just rhyming. Yeah.
Yes, and I'm telling you, people get really creative
and carried away.
And they want they want their child to stand out. And some of us have resented our names.
Yeah.
Yes.
And again, there is deed poll. All right. So
Charles, I don't like my middle name. I'm not fond of my middle initial. And yet still my name is an acronym. It spells MEL. You can pronounce Mel. But I don't like my middle initial. And so I'm glad I don't have to use it on a daily basis. And when I do have to write, I just put the initial E. I never normally write it out because I'm not fond of it.
Mine is A, so I have my initial DAG. Some friends when I was growing up used to call me Dog.
Oh, Jesus. Pitney not easy at all. Listen, my sister worked with the NHD and she was looking for my name, you know, and they were giving my, there was refunds or whatever. She said she searched my name in every way, my middle name. I was the only person on the system of the hundreds of thousands of people in Jamaica with the name Adela.
Adela?
Adela.
Jackie Adela.
My middle name is Adela.
Okay, that's
but
pretty.
Adela is a pretty name.
But she said I was the only name that came up in the system. There might be other people, but we don't know. They're not in that system, but they have hundreds of thousands of names.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That was the only Adela that came up.
Oh. Well, how about Adina? Remember our famous Adina?
Well, I'm so glad my grandmother never got a root there, the Adina part.
Mm-hmm. And maybe if it
it's Adina.
Maybe if it were today, she would tell people Adina.
It's Adina. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
it's like with me. I had asked because my middle name is Grace. And I told my mother, I said, why didn't you put Grace in front and put Charlotte in the middle? Because I would never hear the name there. They would never hear that name. Yeah. So whenever I go places where I have to give my name, I just say Grace.
And Grace,
you would never hear me.
Grace. You look like a Grace, honestly.
Not true.
You look like a Grace.
I think so. Why thank you.
Yes.
You're welcome, darling.
Name.
I asked her seriously, and it, you know, she's telling me that one of my aunts had the name, and I'm like, you know, you better give me granny name or something, because my granny name was Sarah Ann. Give me Sarah Ann or something.
No, give me so basic.
I had to pop many a fight for my name, you know. Me had to pop many a fight. Yeah, a few fights, because with Shernette Mignot, them used to call me Nutmeg, Miggle Nick, and them used to jump on the desk, drum and sing the name. And let me tell you, couple fight pop over name.
I know, in every school.
Yeah.
Okay. See, then now, and so it's not me alone did Papa fight. Remember me tell you, I had a fight one time. Okay, so here is Herman now. So let's break this down in syllables. Ligimo Monkenon is the boy's name, but he tells everyone that his name is Lidge.
We don't wrong him.
I don't blame him.
Because it's too much.
No wrong him.
Yeah, blame him.
No, sir.
Let's sue the parents. I would sue him parents.
Monkenon or Monkenon, whichever one.
Yeah.
So Dion says, my dad named me after Dionne Warwick.
Sure.
That's nice.
Wow. That's
I was named after Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis.
That's true.
So.
No.
Hey, show. Yes, please.
Good.
Mumsel,
what I observe in that family, I have a brother and a sister. And for some reason, my youngest sister, her first name is Althea. But everybody calls her Jemmies, which is her middle name. Everybody says Jemmies. Nobody says Althea. They call her by her middle. And then my youngest brother name is Garfield Christopher. Everybody calls him Chris. Nobody calls him Garfield. Sometimes I have to remind myself that his first name is really Garfield and not Christopher.
Wow.
Yeah,
sometimes the middle name takes over. And sometimes the nickname takes over.
Oh, Lord.
Even the name Robert. A lot of people say Bobby.
Bob, yes.
Because I have three Roberts in my family.
Yes.
Or four. And all of them Bobby.
Yeah.
Yeah, but here people tend to do like Charles the First, Charles the Second, Charles the Third.
Yes.
So you started off with maybe junior, then you have senior, but then because you have another one. But how about George Foreman? Remember George Foreman named all his sons George?
Oh yes.
All his sons, he named them George. They're all George Foreman, all his sons. I forget how many there were or there are. All his sons are named George Foreman.
He definitely don't want that to die.
Boy, it better. So then somebody call it.
Yeah,
teacher, I forget up and ask, vagina, is vagina here? And teacher get up and, is vagina here?
So how was it pronounced?
Vagina.
And that's a child. That's how they call the name.
Vagina.
Or vagina.
No, it wasn't vagina. Woman never say her name vagina. It's vagina.
I'm just saying. Okay.
That's a little what we call risque.
Risque. That's a little.
But you know what? I was watching Core TV one time, and there was a defendant on the case, and her name when she gave her name, it was Female. And they thought it was rather unusual. And when they asked her, she said she was abandoned at birth. And all the mom wrote on the thing was it was supposed to be female. But over time, they gave her the name and just called it Female.
Wow.
Okay. Oh, Lord.
And it have any tilde, any accent over it or anything? No.
Oh, sir, I just Female.
Yeah. So here now is Herman. I know a man who is known only as Shot.
Shot.
I'm Shot. I'm a tear up, man. Tear up Shot. What I said.
Carmelita fried fish. Carmelita fried fish.
Chop. We used to call Chop Carmelita fried fish.
Ladies.
Yes.
Can you imagine what worries we'd have if we never had names? Just think about it. It's something I've always thought about, even before we came up with this topic. I always thought about if people never had names. So you see somebody come here and you see a crowd of people stand up and you want to say hi to somebody or call that person over. What would you say? You come here, you in the red frock. You in the pretty frock. Yes, you in the pretty frock. No, the one in the short trousers. Yes, no, you in the short trousers.
No, you the big mouth one. The big mouth one.
Our broad nose.
Can you imagine? It's the importance of that's the importance of a name, because you'd never be able to address anyone. You'd have to describe what they're wearing, how they look, in order to say hi or to talk to them.
But you they used to call my big sister Full Eyes because she have, what we call big eyes.
And I know people they call Bulby because of their eyes.
Yes, I know a young man in Mandeville called Bulby.
Yes. So
Mr. Salmon, they call him Bulb, they call him Bulb because he had them big bulb.
Yes, no Bulby. So Mr. Salmon, good morning, Mr. Salmon. It's a pleasure having you here. I hope you will become a subscriber and a regular viewer of the show. So here Mr. Salmon is saying, why your guest referred to the color as high color? Which of us said high color? I don't remember.
I must admit, I thought about my stepfather. And he said, then call him white man because he color high.
Okay. That's all right.
I think that might have been me.
Okay.
Because it was really nice.
Good morning, Jerome. Jerome, do you know of any unusual names that people were given? Drop some here in the chat and nicknames as well. Greetings, D-Roy. Good to see you. The same for you. Why they call you D-Roy? You have a name.
Delroy. Maybe shortening for Del.
Yeah, we know his name. But drop your comments in the chat, please. It's 10:49. It's Satideh Mawnin Runnings. And don't forget, it is brought to you courtesy of Victoria Mutual Building Society, Natasha Service. She's a Chief Representative Officer of the New York office, and they're located at 300 Cadman Plaza West, 1 Pierpont Plaza, 12th floor, Brooklyn, New York. You may telephone them, 347-344-5790. Great job they're doing there in Brooklyn. For those of you who want to invest and leave a legacy, generational wealth, you're leaving properties and all of that for your children and their children, please contact them. She will be on with us. We wanted it today and not, but she'll be back. The last time she came, and we had a great segment with her, and Ricky was with us at that time, so it was a good show. So good morning, D-Roy. Good to see you. Let's hop on over here and just acknowledge some more of our comments in the chat. So Herman says, my friend's name is Florence. Now she's saying her name is Florence.
Sometimes it better the name stay or it stay, okay?
I know what that sounds like. My name is Florence. Okay. Good morning, Grit. How are you?
I just remember something.
Oh,
I have two cousins who are siblings. The girl, her name is Karine, but we call her Care. This is a true story. Her name is Karine, but for short we call her Care. Her brother's name is Glenn. That's all it is. His name is Glenn. But she's older. So they went somewhere. I don't know if it was school or somewhere official. And they asked them their names. So because his sister is older, she knows her name is Karine. So instead of saying Care, she said, my name is Karine. So you know what him say? My name is Glenine.
Jesus.
Poor thing. He got carried away.
He got carried away because he figured, well, she adding something on. So him going to add something on too. Yeah.
Hey. Poor thing. He got carried away, man. Oh,
Lord. Good one. Years ago, when I was working with TPD Co, we used to like this time of year we'd come to the Miami Beach Convention Center to cruise shipping conventions. And one of the years when I came, people always flood the Jamaican booth because they always come for the food, the drinks, and just the laughter. But this man handed me his card, and when I looked at the card, I looked back up at him, and he did like this. He just shook his head and did like this, and he had a big smile. The man's name was Ho Yo Fat.
Oh.
Ho Yo Fat. I didn't repeat his name. I didn't say anything because, the Jamaican in me, I was just about ready to spill out laughing. So I just looked at him and him just said,
oh dear.
His name was Ho Yo Fat.
Yeah.
So Mom is on. Morning, Mom. Good to see you. She says, hi, Lady D. Greetings to the group. My nickname was Greenland because of a birthmark. I didn't want to go to school.
Oh, yeah. Mom told me.
I know.
So
it's very true.
3 kids of my friends, 2 girls and 1 boy. Girls, summer and autumn. Boy, winter.
Winter.
Yes. This popular, what you call it? People online, this couple online, they're from New York. Their daughter is summer and the daughter is autumn. And she's pregnant with a boy. I don't know what they're going to call him. Might be winter.
Maybe winter.
Yeah. Might as well finish the seasons.
Right. So
makes sense.
D-Roy says,
right now.
Jamaica people name them children after cities and countries, but never used cities in Jamaica like Marvely, Tivoli, Barbican. Well then, again, he says, well then, again, there's Arnett. For Arnett.
Yes.
Duhaney for Duhaney. Patrick City. Washington Gardens. We thank you.
Gardens, yes.
Yeah, that's a good one. There's actually a girl in my class. She's Haitian. Her name is Arnett. It's pronounced. It's spelled Arnite.
Oh,
Arnett.
Okay.
No, but do you know that like here, a lot of children, a lot of children are called Brooklyn. Yes. Brooklyn is a popular name for children.
Popular name, yes.
Yeah, Brooklyn and
Nairobi, and Jamaica.
You remember when Gwyneth Paltrow had named her daughter Apple.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Erica Badu, her son, she named him Seven. You remember?
And Beyonce's the daughter, her name is Apple or some unusual name.
Blue Ivy.
Blue Ivy, yes.
And North.
Not to mention Northwest.
Right.
Remember Northwest?
Northwest.
And those children
there
are
was
now
a
big.
student in college with me. His name was Kingston.
Yeah, they're
But he's
big.
African.
Yeah. And you know what I have found? I have met several people here who have named their children Jamaica.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Jamaica. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. So Andrea says in Jamaica there was a fellow they called Tombstone.
Oh Jesus, no sir.
Carmen
I'm
says
not
one of my students' name is Anorexa, but everyone calls her Rexy.
Rexy.
That sounds like a dog. Rex. We have a dog named Rex.
We had Rex, we had Larry, we had Timmy, we had Bruno.
So then go for Anorexa to Rexy is no better.
Right. So D-Roy says, D-Roy short for Douglas Roy. That's right. So
Okay.
Jerome says, well, one that came to mind is a cousin named Patrick, and they call him Gooseneck. His dad raised animals, and someone told him his neck looks like the goose.
Long neck goosey. Goosey.
Oh my God.
So Bob says, I knew a boy name, but I asked him one day how he got that name, and it's short for butter. I got 5 stitches over my eye. He flung a stone at me. Oh, Jesus.
Yes,
my.
guys, people never accept names too well back then.
My sister name is Birdie Adina.
Oh, Miss Birdie.
Birdie Adina.
Miss Birdie.
Wow.
Their names as Paris. Thank you, Dion. Then
Right.
Jerome says, yes, I know a young somebody named Brooklyn. Andrea says,
Brooklyn.
I had a teacher named Sonia, only to hear now that it's Sonia. So it was
I
Sonia.
know.
Sonia.
It was Sonia.
My son's
Sonia.
godmother.
Changed to Sonia.
I'm
pretty up.
from St.
Then
Thomas.
give it a makeover.
Extreme.
Says, I know a man from St. Thomas, so we call him Sintimos because we did.
What?
We are what we don't know his correct name. Sintimos. I don't know his correct name, you see? That's exactly what I was talking about. Names, the correct names.
Oh, okay, so Jerome was saying it's a young lady whose name is Brooklyn. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
We're doing
It's one of those unisex. It's one of those unisex names.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we're doing just fine here this morning, a Saturday morning runnings. And perhaps you're wondering why you haven't seen Jen, but she'll be back soon. She has
belly
a lot
tight from the laughing.
Yeah.
So I know.
Me too.
So how about those people people just drop off the first part of them name? Like, just regular people like Dasa. Wait, how would we pretty up? How would we pretty up Dasa in America?
Dasa.
Adasa. But look here. Remember, that was Esther's name, Remember, that was Esther's name?
Yes.
Oh, Esther in the Bible.
Yes.
Yeah. It was Hadassah.
That's
That's my girl. Esther
With an H. It had an H.
Oh, and
Hadassah. Yeah.
Oh, and this lady, the lady that I'm really referring to, though, is somebody that my sister knows and worked along with. And my sister had the audacity to go and call the lady Adassa. The lady stopped her and said, no, it's Dasa.
Excuse me.
She took off. Yeah, she took off the
no
first
A.
part.
She took off the A.
Yes. No, sir.
Yeah.
But I went to school with a boy named Shirley.
But this is what I learned, and I learned this from my my literature teacher, that the names that we're currently using, like Heather and maybe Shirley is one of them. The names that we're currently using as girl names, they were originally boy names.
Yeah, like Andrea.
Okay.
Andrea was a boy name.
Yeah.
It's a boy name.
And Heather and I don't remember. They have a few of Karen. I think Karen was one of them.
And Tony, but one is spelled Tony, Toni.
Yes.
I think it's over the years, though, different depending on the century that it
kind of
came into play.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the Tony is the girl and the Tony is the boy.
Right.
Right.
Tony.
Mm-hmm.
So,
oh boy.
But whatever they are, they identify you.
Yeah, but you know, but back in the day, I mean, I think people.
One moment, Sharon. So taking a quick time signal for our sponsor. We'll be right back. It's 11 o'clock.
I got a mortgage customized to fit me.
Same day pre-approval on my loan. Wow.
Lower mortgage payments, so I have money to do more of the things that matter.
Happiness is owning my own crib.
Take advantage of our same-day mortgage pre-approval plus customized financing of up to 100% and enjoy low monthly payments. Happiness is home. Own it with BMBS.
Alrighty. Welcome back, everyone. It's Satideh Mawnin Runnings. Have you subscribed? Have you tapped the word subscribed? Or, as I like to say, joke. Just tap the word subscribe and click on the bell. Look for the word all at the top, and you will get all the notifications once the channel goes live inside of the zone. Please, we have hit the 700 rather mark, and so we're heading to 800. We need your help. We can't do it on our own. We have already done the joking part.
Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend.
Share it with someone and say, hey.
To joke the bell.
To
the subscribe first.
Be subscribe first.
And it doesn't matter if them name NSC or Alize or Cardashiano or whatever they are. We welcome them all. Or limoncello.
There you go. So Grickley says this girl name was Esmeralda. Yes, we know of Esmeralda. I know
that's actually pretty, I think.
Esmeralda. Here is one. My cousin's name is Kojak.
Okay.
Jesus, Dion.
All right.
So my father said he knows a man in his country name was Luther Braggy.
Luther Braggy. Is that his full name or just a nickname?
Is that the last name or first name?
It seems like it's one name. Luther Braggy. Luther Braggy. Braggy.
Him can't fix that up. Him can't fix that up
can't
easy.
fix it up, man.
Very easily.
Luther Braggy.
Yes.
Yes, Carol. Boy's name Carol too. Yes, I know somebody. I knew someone with that name, Carol.
Okay, so a male Spanish co-worker named Andreas. Yes, Andreas.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you have to have the proper pronunciation to get Spanish people name right.
Gata.
Yes.
Voice name Dion. Nickname
Dion.
Nickname. Yes. Okay. Yes. So great. So I found something here as well. There are some names, given to children by Jamaicans. You have Abisai. It's a Hebrew. It means my father is a gift. Adio. It's African. It means righteous. Then you have Agwe. Agwe. Native American means water. Aiden. Irish means warm. Ajani, Nigerian, means the victor. Badrick, and it's spelled Badrick. English means axe ruler. Then you have Barclay. It's Scottish, means birch tree meadow. Chilton, Old English, means farm near the well. Dejon, American variant of da. You have Damaray, Jamaican, means a boy of joy. Daniel, Hebrew, means God is my judge. Delroy, French, means the king. Ethan, which is Eithan, Hebrew, means firm, enduring, strong, and long-lived. Ghana, a West African country, means strong warrior. Then you have the word Glenmore, one of the most popular baby names named for a place in Jamaica. And it goes on. It goes on and on. There are several of them here. You have Ziggy, German, means victorious protector.
Ziggy. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Ziggy's a pretty name. It's a nice boy name. But my neighbor has a dog named Ziggy.
Now, yeah, Ziggy Marley.
Right. So remember, they're from German descent.
Mm-hmm. So D-Roy says most of the nicknames were given based on your looks, something you did or where you're from, such as Doghead, Head Gut, Country, Fatty, Slims, Bugsy, Stammer, Birdie, etc.
Birdie, etc. True.
We know that. Audrey says, my pet name is Squiggy. Okay. So I tell you that there was this guy in my he was here and he went back home. He's still there. Used to call me Farid.
Yes.
And I would have never wear my hair back. I would have never catch it up in one. And then when he would pass the gate, he would pass the gate and say, Farid.
Somebody, should I lick him there too before?
I'm telling you.
my
you know they call him Boarded.
They don't went for me for us in Clarendon in Pennants. If they said board head, it means say you hear
short, yes.
Short.
It's picky.
Super curly. Right?
Yes.
Super curly type of hair.
And how about Buffon?
Buffon. You can't do nothing. You cannot do
nothing.
My nickname for my mother used to call me Maga. Maga. I mean, I don't even know why, but she just her called me Maga. Just my mother, not nobody else. Maga. I don't know why she called me Maga. Not Maga. Maybe I don't know, but she used to call me Maga.
Okay.
But for me, know me in the past. I mean, know me and tell me part. I know the Maga coming right. But the Miss Eunice woman was the worst name they could ever call me.
Oh God, Max, that one take me. That one take me a while ago. I am sorry that I laugh so much. I'm like, oh my God.
Okay. I'm glad I'm not crying now.
I have a friend. She is like a sister to us. Her correct name is Melody. She never liked her name when we're in Jamaica.
What? That's a pretty name, Melody.
She never liked the name in Jamaica, especially because this boy used to, every time he sees her, in my heart there rings a melody. There rings a melody. That's what he used to say. She never liked the name because of that. And coming here and the way they call her name, and everybody tells her, you have such a beautiful name.
Yes, Melody.
You can't take that from her now because she loves her name now.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a pretty D-Roy says, spoke to a gentleman yesterday and his dog was barking. He later shouted, Derek, be quiet. And apologized for his dog barking in the background. I can't take anybody named Derek seriously anymore.
That can you Derek over there?
So Jerome says, a schoolmate of mine had a large forehead. We call her Bok Bok.
Oh my.
Well, I can't say Tiff was very kind to me then. Him only said Farid. At least them never called me Bok Bok.
Right. Oh God, these people are crazy. I'm cruel.
But as we are talking about names and pronunciation and or preferences, it's important for us to also remember that in the family unit, that's where you connect first. And the variation of names given to children, sometimes it's your own siblings or your cousins who after a while, they come up with a nickname for you.
Yes.
And then it go abroad.
True.
Yes. So the origin of that nickname is a behind the scenes. Unless they really tell you why, tell people why. But all people know, neighbors know, and so they just start hearing these names floating around. And it spreads throughout the community.
Right.
So
Like
because
one of my brothers.
it's in your family first. It's in your
Yes.
family first, you know.
Mhm.
You learn about love, you learn about dislike, you learn about preference. Because sometimes
Yes.
parents will prefer 2 out of 5, or there's that one
Mhm.
golden child.
Mhm.
Right.
And you know them, you will say to your siblings how mama and daddy prefer Johnny, like him
Mhm.
a golden
Yes.
boy,
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
right? And
Yes.
so all of these names just start popping out because they're
Yeah.
identifying something that is unique and
Right.
peculiar
About you.
Yeah,
Mhm.
like this
about you.
guy,
Yes.
this guy in my
Mhm.
district, he was baby man.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah.
Baby
Okay.
man.
Okay.
And
Mm-hmm.
and like the lady said, it started in the family and they just adopted it right through the community. And even now you go down there,
Mhm.
hey, one baby man. He said, what where I say? You
Mm-hmm.
just pick, just
Just
baby
speak.
man. Yeah. And
Yes.
then of course
And,
you have people who get names based on their trade. Like a tailor is
yes.
tailor, a
Yeah.
painter
Mhm.
is painter.
Yes.
They
Mhm.
just don't bother with their name, they just call them whatever their trade is.
And don't
Mm-hmm.
forget
Yes.
Gallis.
Was that Jackie?
Yes.
Galley.
You said call them by them trade. Gallis.
Gallus.
Yeah.
Right? And you know where that
And that's
coming from.
and yes, and that's where we get to the point where in the district sometimes nobody knows the person's correct name. You just know
True.
a gal inside, you know a painter, or you know a tailor. You,
Painter.
you don't know Taylor's right name. You don't
No
know a
idea.
painter right name.
Mm-hmm. So
You know,
here,
it's crazy.
But
It
look
was
here,
crazy then.
we had there's this man. He's now deceased. He was a shopkeeper right in the middle of the major square, and
Mhm.
his name was Stanford Lawrence. And they were doing census taking. But back then, they used to call him as Tolo, right? A
Mhm.
far cry from Stanford Lawrence. So when they said to him, and what's your name? He said Stanford Lawrence. Kind of
Oh.
fix it up nice. So the man said Stanford Lawrence. He said not Stanford Lawrence, a Stanford Lawrence.
No, sir.
Because the man recognized what it is and I fix it the nice,
Yes.
the proper way. But
Yes.
him have theme way how him do it.
oh
And
Lord.
If
and
you
him
overproceed.
insist.
which
Eh,
is
yeah.
why which is why we should always just appreciate what we know, what we can manage.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Because if you're not the kind of person, may I tell you, some parts of Jamaica, and we've had that show already,
Mhm.
it's almost like it's another language when
Yeah.
they
Yes.
speak
Yes.
and they know
Uh-huh.
nothing else. So if you're trying
Right.
now to impress someone or several people, it's a very dangerous territory
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
to
Uh-huh.
embark on because you're going to
Mhm.
mispronounce your own name,
Yep.
Mhm.
Bite
right?
off your tongue.
Right? That
Yes.
too. We sometimes have to just be honest with ourselves and say, listen, I'm not the kind of person who pronounce H's where they are
Good.
appropriate.
Mhm.
I just don't
Uh-huh.
have that,
We
right?
heat
Yes.
Mhm.
off the H's.
We eat them
Yes.
up.
We heat
The
them off.
H.
A lot of
The
people
H
eat them up.
synopsis syndrome.
And many people right now are, it's not so bad anymore because
Uh-huh.
of interaction, because you may have somebody in your corner who is helping you with how to enunciate and so on. But for some people, the rolling of an R or how you take a breath on certain letters, because
Mhm.
for some of us we have to do certain things to get things right,
Uh-huh.
so that
Mm-hmm.
as you're reading, for clarity, it's clear and people can understand you.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about an accent.
No.
Uh-huh.
You need to be clearly understood, which is why
Mhm.
communication is
Absolutely.
so important. So even if I'm
Uh-huh.
going to communicate with you in patois, me patois, you will understand me because me still a talk where you know.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Exactly. Uh-huh.
So same with English language. Yes, you can read it, but you may not be able to call some of the words right.
Yes, you have to
And
pronounce
over
it.
time, we have really damaged people in that regard.
Yes.
Because the moment you get a little knowledge, right away, now you want to correct somebody.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And the method that you apply is not always filled with any grace.
Correct.
Right, right.
So
And it doesn't
here is this
always work
poor man
for
now.
everybody.
He should have just called him name, how him name fi call. Do not
Not fancy talk.
not impress people. It just no work.
Or the man who knew better should have just write it, because he would know who the man is. Just write it the correct way that he knows him trying to say Stanford
but,
Lawrence.
yeah, but it's also like when I went to primary school, the teacher, my first teacher, changed the spelling of my name, and she put she had me writing SHURNET. And when my mother, at the end of the term, or when my mother came in the summer and looked at my book and saw that, she got highly upset. She said, "Why are you writing your name like that?" And I said, "That's what the teacher said." She said, "No, it's SHERNETTE." She said, "That's how I spell it. I give you the name. Tell her that's how it's spelled." And even at the post office, sometimes, I had to write my grandmother's letters, and sometimes they go for proofreading and all of that stuff. And they would want to change it. And I had to say, "No, that's what my mother, because you can't make it sound like a feisty or feisty, You have to take time going like that." I said, "But ma'am, it's how my mother said to spell."
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would have been stuck. I would have been stuck with a completely different
name
way to spell the name.
Yes.
And to spell the name, but the name that's not on your birth certificate.
Right.
Because that's how exactly. And
So
that,
here you
you know what? As you say that, I worked with a guy one time. He was attending school. I'm talking about him do NYU at the time, was doing some legal courses. And his mother brought him here as a young kid. I forgot what country, but it's Spanish. And his name is Jude Gracia. Right? Jude Gracia. But here they changed it to Garcia, because they were under the impression that he spelled it incorrectly. So he was going along with Jude Garcia, and his name was actually Jude Gracia. And that but he wasn't, we would say, straight. And when he got to that point, it was a rigmarole and a big thing to get his name the right way. And his mother had to come and say, "It's Gracia, it's not Garcia." But they had him writing it like that because they thought it was an error. And you had to get a lot of proof and stuff to unravel.
And that's a dangerous thing.
Yes,
it is.
To take the position that somebody don't know their name.
Exactly.
And if you don't speak up, people will do that to you because of what's familiar to them.
Yes.
Absolutely, yes.
So like my last name, right? And there's not many of us in Jamaica with my last name. And I have seen it written, because when you say Gomez, it's almost like some people really can't put the letters together.
Together, yes.
Simple spelling name. But I've heard gourmet, so they drop a R in there.
Them are pretty. Them are decoration.
Gourmet.
I have seen GOYMEZ. So I'm like,
why?
Me not call my name right or something? Why somebody would think that they need to round it up a little more?
Pretty up. Put that decoration.
But even with my maiden name too. Yeah, with my maiden name, I had issues. I had issues because they changed the G to a Q. So in some circles they were calling me Shanette Miquot or Mignon. They said the G is silent, Mignon, and all kinds of and I had to say no, because for some reason when I'm in like school, when I went to school here, I've always been mistaken for Haitian. or for African. I was never, nobody ever look at me and guess I say you're Jamaican. They always say Haitian or African all the time.
Oh, yeah.
So when they say Mignot, then no matter with the brown is easy. They would always say Minyo. And I say it's not Minyo or Miko. I say it's Mignot. And then they would say, you sure? And I say, yes, I'm sure. That's my dad's name.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Luckily,
went to
I was grown, because can you imagine if I was younger and can't defend myself? They would rename me just like that.
Same way.
Well, in my very early days of school, I thought my name was Jacqueline, because that's how the teacher did pronounce it, Jacqueline. Jacqueline, that's how she pronounced my name. Very early age. I think I was in between, what do you call it, basic school and first grade. Jacqueline. So when I went to first grade, Miss Cameron looked at my book and the spelling of my name. She started pronouncing my name the way it was supposed to spell.
Right.
Bless her heart.
Right.
Bless her heart.
Let's acknowledge our comments. Pauline says, I never liked my name as a child because every woman I know with the name Pauline were always drunkards.
Wow.
Hush, Pauline, hush.
No,
and,
not mine.
Oh my God.
A lot of people don't pronounce. Some people say Pauline.
Yes.
Yes. Sure, go on like Shanice. I can't talk about Pauline.
Yeah.
Pauline.
So Dion says, my sister named house cat when we were living in Jamaica, Skettle.
No, in the name of Jesus. No.
All it says, don't worry, Max. I used to cry too. Skinny mini, giraffe, pelican. Oh dear Lord.
Oh God.
German says, a young man in my district has a protruding forehead, so they call him Kunibok.
Kunibok.
No, sir. No, sir.
Yeah,
So,
oh my goodness.
D-Roy is mentioning the man that you
speaky spooky.
He must speaky spooky. So I don't understand why Cher just coming, you know. Cher says, to this day, my family call me Sharon, but my birth certificate says Sharon, which is how we are working with it.
Yes, hi Sharon, how are you doing?
So Charles says, you all know I'm not from Jamaica. I have a co-worker who speaks raw Jamaican, and the others don't understand what he's saying, and I have to tell them what he's saying.
You know,
translator.
So Claudette. So Mom said, Jax, remember at Hilda's we used to call Miss Johnson Hulk, and she gave this first form of 500 lines to write as punishment for not to call her Hulk. The little girl write 500 times. I should not call Hulk.
Yes. I remember that.
Oh God, that's terrible.
I remember that.
Yes, deed polls still exist.
I should not call Hulk.
Most persons spell my last name Chevans at the first attempt, so they would get spelling like chiffon, Chevon.
Chivanes.
Oh Lord.
So we're wrapping up in a minute. Andrea says, one of my sister nickname was, which one is
Mad Pepper. Mother Pepper.
Mother Pepper.
Oh,
that was one of mine.
I know which one.
Yeah,
that was one of mine.
I know somebody
too.
with that name. I know somebody with that name in my district I was growing up.
My grandmother used to call me Mother Pepper, or sometimes she called me Mablasi.
Aye.
Or Miss Lashy. Especially
did Mablasi.
Yeah.
Miss Lashy.
So D-Roy says, a mistake upon Sharon birth. A lot of people in Jamaica living with false name. I think in Jamaica couldn't spell.
That's true.
Yeah.
And the people who write couldn't write.
All of that too.
That too.
Remember I said Oprah's name should have been the one in the Bible, Orpah.
Yes.
And they sell it that way, and it's now a fad. And
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah. And
Their
like you
their
like
mi-
you
their
mentioned,
mistake their mistake is for our beefsteak.
see that,
You know
what?
me, I say,
see
But
that.
like
just
you
like
mentioned,
that.
the names coming from the family. A lot of times too, remember those grandparents, great grandparents, they couldn't read well. So when the parents now start to go out and go to school, and then them realize, them get educated, they start to name the children some names. The grandparents and those parents were back then, them couldn't call them names, so they just give them a name that they could call, they could manage.
Yeah,
So a nickname comes up very quickly.
yeah, yeah.
Ratty, come here,
My my
Ratty.
my mother named my daughter Tiffany, and my grandmother couldn't say Tiffany. She always said chiffon, like the butter, or when she thinks she get it, she would have said chiffony,
See,
but she just never said Tiffany. She couldn't get it.
and them
Yes.
quarrel too.
Couldn't
See, I
get
give the
it.
pitney them all them hard name, them full name. But me can't give the
Hmm.
pitney name something like Dasa or Gata.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
get that.
When they get
Hmm.
frustrated.
when they get
When they
frustrated.
get frustrated. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's 26 minutes after 11, and we wrap up at 11:30, so we have 4 minutes. But I think we had a great run this morning.
Absolutely.
Nothing overly historical, but with a lot of laughter. Just sharing what we recall as well as you. And look for yourself in the mirror and call yourself by your name. You know, say, hey,
Pretty it up if you must.
pretty.
But I'm there talking about the long name. My son's name is Christoph Lane Jonathan Robinson. And
Excuse me.
that is because I knew I wasn't going to have any more. So I gave him all the names I could.
Yes,
You're done one time. One and
One
done.
time.
oh my goodness. So Andrea says, I'm told here that the priest would charge the child name if it's a name of
Change.
popular change. Change the child's name if it's the name of a popular person in the country.
Oh, I you know what? Speaking of that, once I bumped into, well, it was on paper, and the person's name was actually arsenic.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah, but it is said that sometimes some names that people submit here for their babies' names, they're turned down by the registrar because it's too
It's too much.
damaging.
Yes.
Yes.
Like if he was like Jeffrey Dahmer and all those people,
Mm-hmm.
they
Oh,
they would say
yes.
no, they would name it, they would tell you to change it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
Yeah.
too bad.
That
Yeah,
that's a good point. Yeah. Some people
yeah,
need to know. I think, seek out the history of the name and find out something about the name before you give
right,
it to the child. Even if it's something
right,
that you've made up, because you never know. Maybe it's a name that's actually real. It's actually out there already when you think it's unique to you. So just
right.
research it. They have so many
Yeah,
name books and they have everything online now. So the safest thing is to do that. Yeah, you want something unusual, but do remember that it's the child who's going to have to live with this for the rest
live
of
with
their
it. Yeah,
lives.
yeah,
So,
true. So check it
And
out. Yeah.
just an FYI, Denise originates in Greek language, by the way, and means
excuse.
dedicated to God.
Well,
Oops.
well, hello.
So what might Romania?
See there. Wait. Max not have no name. Why she disappear?
Max gone turn our fritters.
Or Albany.
She got stir a mini.
So my
Ladies
name
and
stems from the
gentlemen.
Hebrew roots of Jacob, believe it or not.
What
Sorry,
about
Meaning,
ladies.
Jacob?
I'm sorry. Remember, I told you,
my
lady, that I
name.
have to go. I do have an event later on at 6 o'clock, and I have to go get pedicure and manicure, and some other runnings to do before
And
the
get
event.
pretty.
And we have to
That's okay.
Okay.
drive
So we're
to the
wrapping up.
event. So I'm really pressed for time right now. That's why I run away. Sorry,
That's
but I
Okay,
have to
okay.
Max.
go.
All righty.
Run
Enjoy your
along.
weekend.
Enjoy.
So
Thank you, darling. Blessings to you all.
Okay,
Thanks to
lovey.
you.
have a good
Yeah,
time.
take care.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, all right.
Max.
So
So
I know I'm not supposed to come off, right?
no, don't come off yet. So we want to
All
thank
right.
everyone for
Just
tuning in
just
today.
stop cam and mute.
All right, so we want to thank everyone for tuning in today. And Dion, your final comment. It says a young lady who I attended college with. Her name is Satania. That's
Oh, wow.
nice. like that.
Jesus.
Satideh.
No,
I
sir,
like it.
that look like a Satan.
No, man. It's in the pronunciation. Hello. In the pronunciation. So, on time, on target, 11:30. We'd like to thank you all for tuning in with us this morning and looking forward to being back next Saturday morning with Satideh Mawnin Runnings here on Inside of the Zone with Lady D, Denise Gomez. Take care of who's health.
Yes.
Who next
All
week.
of Uno.
And lots of love and blessings. Mwah. We're out. We're out.
Bye
All
bye.
right. Take care.